Dear students, welcome to the science class. So in the last class we started with the topic named as physical and chemical change. So in the last class we discussed about the physical change, that nothing but change in the physical properties which may lead to the physical change. So what are those physical properties? Those are nothing but size, shape, state of the matter. That is nothing but if they are solid, gas or liquid. Right, in the same manner we are going to study about the chemical change. So in the physical change we know that there will be no formation of the new product. Right, there will be change in the physical properties, but we are going to get the same original product only if there is the changes in the physical properties. So that is known as the physical change. Next we are going to see about the chemical change. So let us take an example of the rusting of iron. Rusting of iron. If you see in the outside, if you keep an iron material, that iron material is going to get some brownish color or reddish brown color. So that the reddish brown color is nothing but what? It is the rust. It is the rust. So that rusting of iron is nothing but what? It is a chemical change. In the same manner, if you see your school benches, some of the school benches are older one. So that older school benches are having a coating of red brownish color, which are made from metallic benches, which are made from the iron. When you see that iron benches, when you see the surface of those things are going to get some reddish brown color. So that reddish brown color is nothing but what? It is the rust. So rusting of iron is nothing but again what? Chemical change. So how it is occurring here? How it is happening here? When you keep that iron particle outside an atmosphere in an environment which is open to the air, so that we know that there will be pouring of rain. So there will be presence of the rainwater, so that when they react with the rainwater, they are going to do some chemical reaction. Because of that chemical reactions, the iron is going to rust. In the same manner, if you keep that iron inside your home or inside a school, what will happen? That iron is going to react with the atmospheric oxygen. So we know that there will be high amount of presence of the oxygen. Right, so that they are going to react with that oxygen, so that those things are going to again get rust. So that again there is the formation of the rust on that iron fillings or iron thing. So that rust is nothing but what? Rusting of iron. So it is nothing but what? It is an chemical change. Right, in the same way, if you check your home vessels, in that vessels we are going to use tawa, or you can call it as a pan. We are going to use materials which are essential for home appliances. Those are made from the iron. Again, if you see those things, again they are going to get rusted. So that rust is nothing but what? Chemical change. That rust is nothing but what? It is the chemical change. So we are going to know more about the chemical change by doing some activities. So let us consider the activity number 6.6 here. 6.6 here. So in this activity, what we are going to do here, we are going to take some magnesium ribbon. Magnesium ribbon is nothing but what? It is an metal which is readily available in the sports shops. So that we are going to take a magnesium ribbon, we are going to take some burner, or we are going to take a candle, and we are going to burn that magnesium ribbon in presence of the oxygen. So what will happen? Magnesium ribbon is starting it is a solid form. It is a solid form, and we are going to take a magnesium ribbon near to a burner where flame is kept. So in that flame, we are going to hold magnesium ribbon by using a tongue. We are going to hold this magnesium ribbon, and we are going to keep a petri dish here. So we are going to keep this magnesium candle or burner just inclined, so that whatever the reaction which is going to occur, it should be collected in this thing. So it is going to give a flame. Because of that flame, this magnesium ribbon is going to get heated. So this is the petri plate. It is the petri plate, and this is the burner. And this is the magnesium ribbon. It is the magnesium ribbon. And we are holding the magnesium ribbon by top. So whatever the reaction which is going to occur in between magnesium ribbon and this burner, it is not good for seeing, since it is going to give more sparks. Because of that thing, we are going not. It is going to be done by the teachers only. So we are not going to do this thing. It is going to be done by the teachers. So what we are going to do here, before burning this magnesium ribbon, we are going to clean it. So we are going to use the sandpaper and we are going to clean the upper portion of the magnesium ribbon. Then we are going to, what we are going to do here, we are going to heat it. So while heating, what will happen? So whatever the solid surface here of the magnesium ribbon is going to convert it into the powder form. So that powder form is going to collect it here in this Petri plate. This powder form, magnesium ribbon which is there, it is going to convert it into the powder form in brownish color. It will be going to convert it into the brownish color. That powder form is going to be collected in the Petri plate. So here the powdered magnesium. So powdered magnesium. So whatever the powdered magnesium is there, it is getting converted into, whatever the magnesium is there, it is going to convert it into the powder form. That powder form is nothing but what? Not the powdered magnesium, it is the ash. So it is nothing but what? It is powdered one and it is nothing but what? It is the ash. It is the ash, that is nothing but left over of that magnesium. So this magnesium is getting converted into the ash. So while heating this magnesium ribbon, there will be presence of the oxygen also in the atmosphere. So it is going to react with that oxygen and it is going to produce the ash in the powder form. Ash in the powder form. So this magnesium ribbon is getting converted into the ash. So if you have to give by this a chemical reaction, this can be given as, this magnesium is nothing but what? It is the magnesium. It is the magnesium which is given as Mg. So when heated with oxygen, so it is going to be heated with the oxygen, so that there will be presence of the oxygen in the atmosphere. It is going to be heated by the oxygen. So when it is heated with the oxygen gas, it is going to give powdered magnesium hydroxide. It is going to give what? It is going to give magnesium hydroxide. Sorry, magnesium oxide. So which can be given as MgO. So whatever the ash is going to come here is nothing but what? It is the magnesium hydroxide. It is the magnesium hydroxide. So when magnesium, here we are going to see about a equation. So we are studying about the equations in the math class. But in the science class, those equations are different from the math class. Right, if you see here, plus indicates reacting. Plus indicates reacting. This arrow mark indicating formation. So when magnesium reacts with the oxygen, it is going to form magnesium oxide. It is going to form magnesium oxide. So if you see here, initially it is magnesium, it is going to form magnesium oxide. So magnesium oxide is nothing but what? It is a new product. It is a new product. When magnesium ribbon is heated in presence of the oxygen, it is forming a new product which is given by the magnesium oxide. Which is given by the name by the magnesium oxide. So next what we are going to do here, we are going to take this powder. Whatever the powder is there, that powder we are going to take in a container. In that container we are going to add that powder. In that powder we are going to add water. We are going to add water. And we are going to stir it well. We are going to mix it well and we are going to stir it well. So we will add the water into a mixture of into a powder that is nothing but ash or magnesium ribbon. So it will become a mixture here. It is going to become a mixture. So this ash is nothing but what? It is the magnesium oxide. So this mixture when checked by the using of a pH paper, then it is going to show the color change. It is going to show the color change. So if you check here, if you take this solution, and if you check this solution by a pH paper, so we are going to use both the pH papers, blue pH paper as well as we are going to use the red pH paper also. blue litmus paper, not pH paper, blue litmus paper as well as red litmus paper. So when you check in the blue litmus paper, and we are going to take another red litmus paper, red litmus paper, when you check it, it is not going to change the color of the blue litmus paper, so there is no change. Here is no change. But when you check in the red litmus paper, it is going to change the color of the red litmus paper to the blue color. It is going to change the red litmus paper color to the color to the blue color. Change the color to blue color. Blue color. So in the same manner, if you check this blue litmus and red litmus paper on this ash, it is not changing the color. It is not changing the color of the blue litmus paper as well as it is not changing the color of the red litmus paper. But when you add water into the ash, it is changing the color of the ash or that solution of the red litmus paper to the blue color. So what it indicates that it is indicating that there is the new product is formed again. There is the new product is again formed. So if you remember, if you recall the fifth chapter, in that chapter we studied about the acidic and basic. So that also we studied about the indicators. So we studied about the indicators of the red litmus paper as well as the blue litmus paper. We are going to use the blue litmus paper for the identification of the acids, and we are using the red litmus paper for the identification of the base. Right? If there is no change in the color in the blue litmus paper, that indicates it is not an acid. If that solution is changing the color of the red litmus paper, then we can say it as the base. So base has the properties to change the color of the red litmus paper to the blue color. So if there is the color change in the red litmus paper to the blue color, then this solution, whatever the solution we are getting, is nothing but what? It is a basic solution. It is what? It is a basic solution. It is a basic solution. Right. So if it is forming a basic solution here, then we can say that there is a new product is formed. There is a new product is formed. So what is that new product? If you write the equation for that new product, is nothing but what? It is going to give like this. That is nothing but magnesium oxide, which can be given as MgO plus it is reacting with the water. It is reacting with the water. So water can be given as H2O, and it is going to give a new product that is nothing but base. That base is nothing but what? It is the magnesium hydroxide. It is nothing but what? It is the magnesium hydroxide, which can be given as MgOH. So if you recall the previous class, magnesium hydroxide is nothing but what? It is an base. It is a basic solution. It is a basic solution. So where does we use the magnesium hydroxide? We are using the magnesium hydroxide as antacid. Its other name is milk of magnesium. To cure the acidity, when we are suffering from acidity, we are going to use the magnesium hydroxide. So we are getting the magnesium hydroxide when we make the ash with the water. So from where we are getting the ash? We are getting the ash when we burn the magnesium ribbon in presence of the oxygen. So from the oxygen we are getting magnesium oxide. From the magnesium oxide we are getting what? We are getting the magnesium hydroxide. So at each and every point there is the formation of the new product. So this is about the activity number 6.1.